Hello everybody, and welcome back to another KTANE modding tutorial. Today I'll be going over, we're going to be going over Needy modules. We've been over the basics on how to make, a normal module, a regular module that people can just load up on a random bomb. But I think we should show some Needies some love and appreciation, and that's why I'll be I'll be making this tutorial on how to make a Needy module. Because I believe that you should watch the last one, or the last tutorial, before watching this one, I'm gonna skip over some steps. So I already have the manual made. I didn't model the module just yet, but yeah, we can get to that later, or I can just do that in like 5 seconds. Um, and as an kind of addendum to the last tutorial, in the last tutorial, I think I used Illustrator as a way to make the SVG for your manual. However, I've since lost my access to Illustrator, so I'll be showing you how to do it with Inkscape, which everyone is free to download, or it's free to download for anyone. You can literally just Google Inkscape, and you can just download it if you want. But with that being said, I think we should get started with just making the Needy. First, let's model it. So we will need this text later on. So I'm just going to put it down there. And for the Needy module, we don't want to use a normal background, but instead, yeah, we can just delete that. If you're using... Oh, actually, hold on. Before I continue with this. There's been some updates since my last tutorial. My master template that I use has been updated. I regularly update it, or semi-regularly. So it has changed a bit from last time. You can see there's a boss mod folder, and I'll be making a boss mod tutorial when I care enough, really. But that's not the important part. The important part is now it's integrated with the community mod kit. So I've updated the links in the previous modding tutorial, and I'll have the same ones down in this one too. I'm going to be using the old master template, not because it's better than the community mod kit. The community mod kit is just better, but I'm using the old one because I'm stubborn, frankly speaking. But both of them should work just fine. Again, for in most terms of when you're making a mod, or for most situations, there is not going to be any difference. There might be some methods in the community mod kit that make your life easier or make what you want to do easier, but overall it's going to basically just be the exact same. So use the community mod kit, but if you're a stubborn asshole like me, you can use the old one, which is more broken. But with that being said, let's go and make the design of the Needy module. So excuse me. I have a folder called module background types, and it can be whatever you want. So you can have a colored background. You can have materials, and these materials will be useful, specifically for if you want one without hinges, or without like a status light holder. But anyways, the one we're looking for is the Needy one, so we will be putting it here. And we have to rotate it 180 degrees, because all of them spawn upside down, because Unity or something, I don't know. And as an important note, this screen right here, the game automatically adds a screen automatically whenever, for any Needy. So you want to just delete that. Because if you don't, it's going to cause some Z fighting, and it'll make Xish mad, so that will make you happy, but you'll just, like, put work for him. So just delete that. It's not overly important, though, so you shouldn't have to worry. However, for the purposes of this tutorial, I'll be leaving that, and I'll delete it later. But just remember to delete it. So, let's go and model this. The module that I'll be making today is it's very simple. It's basically just going to be a yes or no module. It'll have a question on the screen, and you have to answer either yes or no. And it's going to ask you questions about your previous answer. So, what we need is a screen that will display some text. So we can just throw down a random beveled cube. Put it in cubicle, and this. This is what I'm looking for. It's huge, so we can scale it down a bit. Ooh, forgot to delete that. Camera and light. If, when you export anything from Blender, which I've not taught anything about Blender, but don't worry about that. Unity? Unity will fix itself. When you export something from Blender, make sure you delete the light and the camera that's attached to it, so that way you don't have to delete it in Unity every time you want to reapply it. It's nothing too major, it's just pretty annoying to do. Because it'll off-center your, it'll off-center the origin point of your object, which you don't want. So, let's see, let's make it something like this. Ooh. Okay, so that is reaching the edge, so we can do that. And let's see. This will be the screen, so let's go to materials. And unlike the last mining tutorial, this one should be faster due to there not being that many complexities with a Needy module. Let me make this a darker gray. And let's copy this. Okay, let's take this out. Oh, let's take this out of ancillary, actually. Oh, man. Okay, no, that's normal. Never mind. And throw this at the top. So yeah, in the last tutorial I said you basically never need to, like, touch ancillary unless you want to make a different background type, in which case you then need to go into. But anyways, let's go ahead and make the mod. Or design it. So we have the screen holder. And what happened? Oh wait, no, that's the object. There we go. So if we copy this, just scale it down a bit, apply a black texture to it, and now we have a screen. We can maybe throw a greenish hint on it, or a greenish hue, but, you know, actually, let's do that. Let's copy this, and turn green. Ooh, that looks ugly, actually. Maybe a bluish hint. Maybe that'll work, I don't know. I might change it in the future. And we can scale that down a bit. I guess, rather scale this down a bit. Okay, cool. Look, that's fine enough for our purposes. I don't care about making this too overly nice. So let's just throw it up, and let's make sure that our text is going to go on screen. This is going to be fine with Ostrich, although we do have to scale it down a bit. 144 should be fine. And as usual, or whenever I have a starting mod, or for the screenshot and I have text on the mod, I always just give it a, just a random, you know, just something random at the start. So that way, you know, it makes it for a nice screenshot. So let's just have it, is this module called not. You know, something like that. And now we just need to make the yes or no button. In which case we can do... Just have to make another cube. Materials... What do I want them to be? Do I have anything interesting in here? Polyhedrons, cubicle... doesn't look like it. Oh, I had the beveled rectangle. Whatever. I guess not, so we can just use normal buttons. Actually, now I'll just have cubes. Again, I don't care about making this look too overly nice. So, we can just have the cube here, and then that'll be good enough. This will be the holder, like I did with the screen. And let's be more precise about this. Let's make that 5. And let's give it a black background. The module, no, materials. There we go. and then we'll just throw buttons on them. I say buttons, we'll just throw the same cube on here. This one will have or we'll do this, and we'll make it green. Let's make this line, let's duplicate it, throw it on, and let's make it a bit darker. There we go. I don't like this line because it's too bright, so unless you want to use this for colors, or for like an LED, then I don't think it looks too good. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Let's label these, because with all these cubes I might want to change something later. So we can say yes button holder, and throw this cube under that, and we can just call this yes button. And button, because it'll be the game selectable. We call this no button holder, and just copy this, bring it there, and just say 0. And say no button button. Oh, actually, you don't know. What I'll do is I'll make this a cam selectable. Throw it onto template. Give this a cam highlightable. Okay. And actually, I'm going to reiterate this point because I think some people missed it in the last tutorial. If you want to test out how the highlights will work, or will look, my bad, you want to keep the mesh renderer, and you want to change the material, not to be, like, magenta or whatever. You want it to specifically have the highlight overlay. So that way, when you scale it down, so if we multiply by, like, 1.12, and 0.36, right? You can see what it'll look like when you highlight over the button. So this is what the button highlight will look when you're about to just touch it. However, or rather, when we're done with it, when we're happy with how it looks, we can just remove the mesh renderer, which you should, but keep the cam highlightable. Now we just throw the cam highlightable back in, and make sure that everything looks nice. Yep, that looks fine. And throw this under that, name it highlight. Copy this, bring it over to the no button. Maybe make this red a bit darker. Yeah, that looks fine. And we can name this no button. And update the highlight accordingly. Yep, okay, everything looks fine here. So now we can just throw it into the children of the Needy module. Make sure you save how it looks, and just load it up, see if your highlights work. So as you can see, we can highlight over both of them so it works. Alright. And that is the design of the mod. Now let's actually rename the script, or rename everything. This will be called not. Module type is not. And display name is also not. And we'll throw this in. And before I actually get started, who is DMing me? I don't care. Before we get started, I will say, if anyone actually bothered to read the manual, you'll see that I have something about mod settings. I will be covering... So I plan on making 4 tutorials. This is the second one. And the first one's already made, obviously. One of the next ones, I don't know if it's going to be the one after, right? I don't know if it's going to be the next one or the one after. I will be covering boss mods. But the other one will be about miscellaneous things. So like colorblind support, rule seed, mod settings, just things like that. So I'm not coding it in now because that is too complex for just a simple Needy module. But I will be covering it in a future tutorial, just not now. So let's actually start scripting. Oh wait, actually, immediately I threw in the wrong script. See, this is for just a normal module. However, I don't want that. So I have a Needy script somewhere around here somewhere lying around. And we're back. Turns out I never actually made a Needy template, which I was planning on doing it before I started recording, but kind of just went with it. So instead, I just made one on the spot. By the time this video is up, this should be pushed to my my master template, so you can just follow along as normal. There would be a folder here called Needy Mod, which just has the script that we need. So, with that being said, we can just throw on this Needy template, or the script, remove component, and add km Needy module. That's what I was missing. So, let's drag this up here. That's where it normally is. Yeah, that's fine. Oh. Okay, whatever. So, module type is going to be not. Module is, oh wait, no. Module type, remember this is the ID. This is the thing that shouldn't have spaces. I mean, you can have spaces, but don't. And the module display name will be not. And we can do the required timer visibility. See this tick mark over here, the warn 5 seconds mark. What this does, or in case you don't know what this does, is most Needies will basically it'll give you a warning noise whenever 5 seconds are remaining of the timer being up. So, you know, if you're a diffuser and you just missed it, and you hear this noise, you come back and you quickly do the Needy. So something like knob does it, like just the normal vanilla knob. However, it's not necessary. You don't technically need it. You can turn that off if you want, but I would strongly recommend against doing that, as it's just not a it's not really fun being able just missing it because you don't have the warning. However, I mean the option is still there, so you do whatever you want. But yeah, now that we applied the Needy module script, we can actually drag it into this little box right here. And we can get rid of this, because that's not the Needy script. We can copy this, just copy it, paste it in here, Control D, oops, Control D here, I guess, and then we can just drag in assets. So, oh, let's get rid of these real quick. Let's name it not, and now let's open it up and name the class not. Cool. Now we have it set up. Except I didn't actually drag this on. So, now we have it set up. And get rid of this. And now we can just drag this on. Oops. Drag this on. Drag this on. And drag this on. Cool. It's a bit scuffed, but it wouldn't be a tutorial by me if it wasn't. So, you'll notice here that, ignoring all of these comments, or all these extra methods I added, these methods, again, have also been added to the original just module script, the non-Needy module script. However, there are 3 that are exclusive to having exclusive to Needy modules. That would be on Needy activation, on Needy deactivation, and on timer expired. And I'm just going to remove the ones that I think will be unnecessary for this mod. So we can get rid of activate, we can get rid of on destroy. If you're curious about what those are, you can ask me in the comments below, or something like that. I don't care. But they're not necessary for this module. And if we get rid of the activate method, we also have to get rid of the activate method here in the awake. So, these 3 are the important methods for making a mod, or for making a Needy. On Needy activation is basically just essentially what the module will generate every time you want it to just start it up. So, you know, if you want to like make a math Needy or whatever, you would have it generate the math question inside of this method. And when they correctly answer a question, or whenever they do whatever you want, then you can just basically turn it off in the onNeedy deactivation method. It's basically just, I have the comments here, it's just what happens whenever the Needy turns off, and whenever it turns off. And the on timer expired is what happens when they run out of time. Now, this one is important. There are two ways you can have a needy turn off. You can have it turn off by automatically when time runs out, and it'll check your answer when it runs out. Or you can have it when they have to answer the question by pressing a button, and only then would it turn off the mod. And if they don't answer by then it'll just strike you if you run out of time. There's two ways you can go about making a normal needy module. So Knob does it in this method, or, this way, while the two other vanilla needies go by this way. Or I guess one other. Capacitor is a bit weird, in that it never turns off. So, let's just start making the mod now. So, right now, we want to just basically ask a question with objectively true or false answer at the start. So, what we can do is, we can make a new method called generate true answer, right? Or generate true questions. Ooh, as I hit the insert key. So, oops. There we go. And, you know, if we have one where we generate a true question, we should also have one where we generate a false question. And, you know, I'm going to generate initial true question and generate initial false question. So, what we can do here is we can just have it ask for various things. We can have it ask for edge work. So, let's see. Oh, we should probably also add in our things. That'd be very important. So public KM selectable button or buttons. Since we want to make this an array, since it's multiple, we want to make it an array, and just have that. And we also need a text mesh for our thing to ask questions. So public text mesh. What is it called? Just display. So, we can get rid of this one since we have two buttons. Actually, you know what? Nah. Instead of making an array, we can just do it. We can have it be two buttons. So we can have it be yes button, and we can have it be no button. And remember, you don't have to be perfectly efficient. It's more efficient to do a for loop or whatever. I don't care. Just whatever is easier for you to code. Never let people decide, like, how you should code. Do whatever the fuck you want. So we do yes press, and we can have it be no press. So no button.onInteract gives us no press. So, let's see. We have void yes press. Ooh. And void no press. And remember to assign them whenever you assign it in Unity, or whenever you make it in the script. So we just lock this, throw on the button. Did I throw on the yes one? Yes, I did. Throw on the no button, and throw on the text. And we'll have that. So now what we should do is... Okay, well, now we just have to start making the questions. So, now that we have that here, we can just do a random switch statement. I know Blam likes those. So, we can do rnd.range. Basically just give us a random number, and let's say there's, I don't know. Let's make it a 1 and 5. I don't know what that 1 and 5 would be, but who cares. So, case 0, break, and we can just copy and paste this. Actually, that's enough. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cool. And now we can just have it ask a random question. So, because we know we're generating a true question, we could have it ask, well, this one in this case could just be, is this module called not? And the answer is true. And before we even get into that, we should make a boolean to keep track of if the answer is actually true or not. So is answer true? And we could just set it to false. So now we can do is answer true, and we just, actually, instead of doing it 5 times over, we just do it at the beginning of the script, or beginning of the method, is answer true equals true. and then we can just not worry about it later. So we can also do something a bit simpler too. String question equals, actually hold on, instead of doing that, let's put it here. So string question equals, and then we'll just make it empty. And down here, we can have it be void change question. And that's what we will string, and that's where we will actually update the question. So string input. And we can just do question.text. No, not question.text, my bad. Display.text equals input. Now, a thing that you can do with some mods, right, or with text, is that you can have like a bounding box, so that way, like, if it tries to go off the screen, so like if it bleeds over like off the actual display, it can just wrap over to the next line. You can do that, or if you don't want to bother learning it, you just have to get comfortable with using the \n, which is the escape code for making it a new line. I don't like doing that, or I don't like having binding boxes, so I'll be using \n a lot. So we can have the let's see. Now to actually generate the true questions, or generate the questions in general, we can just have it be what we want. So this one could be, is this module called not. Ooh. So \n, cool. And it'll go on a new line. Next question. Ooh, and this should not have that, right? Yeah. Does the bomb have, and we can do plus, and then whatever, plus whatever, because we're going to ask about some edgework condition. So does the bomb have 5 batteries, for example? So we have, actually instead of doing that, we can just do bomb.getBatteryCount .toString. Does the bomb have batteries? And boom, there we go. We just have that question down. We can ask about, does the bomb have, I don't know. We can ask about battery holders. So, let's see. Does the bomb have, get battery count? Yeah, battery holder count. Let's just ask about the edgework, about the count of them, because I don't really care about getting other things. Does the bomb have bomb.get indicator count? Alright guys, get indicators.count .toString. And you'll notice that I'm not doing the \n here. I'm gonna check each of them individually. So that way I can just see which ones actually need the \n, which is probably all of them, but you never know. And now we can just do it here. But this time it's going to be get port count. Does it have that ports? And this should be a lowercase I. Although it doesn't matter, because with ostrich stands, everything's just uppercase, because they hate us. So, we can have it on deactivation. We also need a bool to see if it's the first time it's the first question. So, we need a bool. Is this first question? Something like that. Equals true. To start with. I guess, whatever, that can stay as equals false. So on the deactivation, we just check is this first question, and if that's true, then we'll do one of these two methods. So we can do generate, I guess, if, I don't know, rnd.range of 0 to 2 equals 0. And that'll just generate either a 1 in a 50-50 chance. So generate true question if it's true, or if that does happen, or we generate the false question. Cool. And we should also do it here. Set this equal to false. Is this mod called Needies not? That could be the question. Does the bat bomb have? And then we just do a... Ooh, this one will actually have to do a do while loop. So, we'll just create a random integer, right? Because what we want to do is we want it to just say a random number of, let's say, batteries, right? But we don't want it to actually equal the amount of batteries on the bomb. So we just need to make a random int and just keep randomly generating it until we have, until it's just not the same. Until they're different numbers. So we can do that with a do while loop. Rand. So just int rand equals 0, right? And rand will equal a random number, so rnd.range from 0 to, let's say, 10 batteries. Because with 5 widgets, 10 is the theoretical maximum amount of batteries you can get. So, if basically it'll generate the random number, and it'll actually check the condition here to see if they're the same. And if they are the same, it'll just run it back. It'll just keep doing it until this condition is false. So, now that we did that, we can just do rand.toString. In fact, I'm not even sure if I need the toString, but who cares? And we can just do this, whatever. We should probably actually have this here, so that way we don't have to keep, like, calling int rand. And we'll just do the same thing here. So I'm trying to think of if I want to be efficient about this. And the answer is no. Remember, kids, don't make your code efficient. Make it easy to read. Brand. This one can be 5. Because you can get only 5 battery holders on a standard 5 widget bomb. So bomb equals get battery holder count. I hate these random spaces, so I'm getting rid of them. And we want it to be the same. Rand.toString. So it does work, but we don't care. Yeah, whatever. Do it here, and do it here. So indicators, this is staying the same. Indicators count. Throw that here, and throw rand here, and .toString. Get port count. So with ports, the theoretical amount, the theoretical max is 20, but realistically no one's gonna get it, so I'm gonna just max it out at the same, at 5 ports. Actually, no, 6 ports. So, now that we have the true and false questions initialized, what we want to do, right, is... Actually, I think what I'll do with this is that I'll show both ways, or both things of generating the needy. Oh, what the? Ah, misspelled. So I'll have it show what happens if you deactivate it via button press or when time runs out, because both of them are valid ways to do it. So I guess now that we generated the true or false question, we do this. Oh, I already set that up. Okay, so I guess now all we have to do is generate false questions. Or not generate false questions, but just generate questions about, I'm having a stroke, my bad. Questions afterwards. There we go, those are the series of words I'm looking for. So let's just generate some questions. Alright. We want some that will keep the same answer, so I'll just write some here, keep answer, and we want ones that will change the answer. So now we have our 5 things. And what we can do to check, or to check where we need to put the escape characters, is we can just put it here. So, what was your last answer? We can just drop in that. So, we want to put in a \n to make this a new line, and just do the same with the rest of them. Hopefully, none of them are too big to where I'll have to actually shorten the text. If I do, I'll be very sad. If I were to ask you what was your last answer, what would you respond? How about we put one there? Oops, okay, I can just do that. Ooh, it looks like I will have to, which makes me sad, but whatever. Okay. Looks like we'll have to. So, we'll make this 300 again, and... is this mod... oh, not... I'll have to scale it down instead, which... also works. So, is this mod not, and we'll... yeah, that's a fine scale. The reason why I do scale instead of font size is because if you're below 144 font size, it gets more blurry. So by having it be 300 font size originally, scaling it down, you have that leniency of, instead of having to scale your text, you just change your font size without it being blurred. So now we actually have to change font size as a method. Void change font size. Which, sucks. Alright, cool. So now that we have our questions, and the font sizes to go with them, now all we have to do is, make an array. So, first let's make a, I guess we could, yeah, we can make a global thing. So let's declare a global string array, keep answer questions. Alright. And it'll just be very simple. We have to make these in quotes. Ooh, this will be annoying-ish. Wrong one. There we go. And and let's just throw it in here. Good enough. And let's also make a string array for change answer questions. And again, let's throw these here. Let's put that here. We'll probably be putting the comments here as well, but whatever. And let's just toss these in. And we also need an int array for the font sizes. So font sizes equals... ooh, that's an accident. And what are they? 300, 200. I'm dumb, these should be curly brackets. 210, I think 250. Yeah, and then 290. So now we have our font sizes. And because we want to index into these, we need a just an question index int. So question index. Alright, so every time we now want to... okay. Yeah, so now we need to basically generate the same thing again, but instead of changing it to generate initial true question, initial false question, we need to make two more methods. Generate keep answer question and generate change answer question. And you know what? I'll put comments in later. So generate keep answer question, what we want to do is basically just have it say is answer true, and actually because we want to keep the answer, we don't actually care about changing it. We only care about changing it here. So is answer true equals not is answer true. So now, what we want to do is display.text. Nope, actually, change question of. Change question and keep answer questions of question index, right? Oh, and we actually want to change. We want it to be a random question. So question index equals rnd.range and 0 to 5, since we have 5 questions. Actually, I guess we can just make it as many as there are. So keep answer questions dot length. And we can do the same thing for the change answer questions. So change answer questions. Okay, cool. So now that we have that, now that we have all the Needy activation, oh wait, I guess we need to change font size here. And break or return. Because now what I want to do here is also change font size. So to change the font size, it's very simple. All we do is display dot font size, and then you change it to whatever number you want. Font sizes of question index. Cool. Alright, now that we have all the basic things set up, now let's... Actually, no, we're not done with the basic things, because now we have to do this. So... Actually, no, we are done with the basics. Alright, let's make it so that when you press a button, it will deactivate the Needy. All we have to do is, let's see. In yes press, we can just have it so that if is answer true. Oh, actually, we should have an active bool. So we don't want them to strike while the Needy is deactivated. So bool is Needy active, and we'll just set it equal to false. So every time the Needy turns on, we can say is Needy active. We can set it to true, and then when we deactivate it, we set it to false. Is Needy active? False. That's basically the only purpose of this, is to deactivate or to turn off the bool. So, is the answer true? And actually, what we should do is just if is Needy active, or if it's not active, then we return. We don't want them basically messing with it. And we'll do the same thing here. So, if answer is true, then we want to just deactivate the Needy. So we can just do on Needy deactivation, and that's it. That's it for that. And actually, I guess we need to make it strike. Else strike. I added a method so that way you don't have to type in that long string. I say that long string, but you get what I mean. So we want to strike and also deactivate the Needy. So, because when you strike, it doesn't automatically turn off the Needy. It'll keep the timer running, it just won't turn it off. So, unless you want the timer, unless you want the Needy to specifically continue even after it strikes, you should put in an on Needy deactivation after a strike. Again, a strike, a Needy is more fun if, like, after a strike, it turns off. You shouldn't, because you shouldn't be able to get a double strike for getting it wrong and then simultaneously running out of time. Needy Math does it, and Needy Math, I mean, it could be better if it just doesn't do that. So we can just do the same thing here. So the one is not answer true, and that should deactivate the Needy. So let's go and test it out. You can see that I didn't use it yet because, well, I guess, yeah, sure. If we run out of time, then we can just strike and turn off the Needy. So, and Needies work differently in the test harness because they don't activate randomly. So there's this little button in the top left that says activate Needy modules and deactivate them. So we can just activate it, and did I start it? Oops. Hey, this is editing Def again. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna spare you the pain of me spending about like 20 minutes debugging because I didn't make the needy template right. That's really just all that happened. It'll be fixed. Well, it is fixed in the needy template, so yeah, don't worry about it. Alright, we are back. Sorry about that. The only issue was that basically I need to test out my templates before I make them, because I forgot a very important line that I just need to put down. I don't know if I did anything. Okay, I can get rid of that. So, I forgot what I was saying. Okay, yeah, so now we just have the module able to deactivate. So, what was in the last one? Oh, activate the needy module. Does it have one battery holder? The answer is yes. Activate it again. Does it? Ooh. We forgot to disable it. Does it have 0 batteries? No. What was your last answer? It was no. It didn't strike. What was not your last answer? Yes, it wasn't. What was your last answer? It was yes. Okay, so it seems to work now, which is fun. Cool. Yeah. So that's how you would do it if you wanted to just deactivate on a press. However, let's say we don't want that, right? Let's say I think what it could do is, because when I release a mod, I think I want it so that it is just you pressing it. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to basically just copy this over. This, because I do want to keep this for when I actually release the mod, but I will show just what to do if you want it to run out of time, basically. So, what we could do is, instead of doing this, we have it so that the is answer true? Ooh. Okay, so if we do this, then we need a bool of selected answer, right? And then we change it in here. So selected answer equals true, and then selected answer equals false. Alright? And we can also have it change material while we're there. So let's just let's have it change the button holders. So public game object array holders. Alright, so now what we do is just, and we also need a, ooh, actually I zoomed in too much. And now all we have to do is make a material array. Material, change that, let's say it's, I don't know, colors, right? We don't care about the name. So now all we have to do is actually just assign them. Make sure you lock that. Just drag these onto holders and colors. We have black and what color do we want to make this? We can make it a gray. It doesn't matter. This is for a show anyways. So now that we did this, what we want to do is set the holder to holders of 0 because the yes button is the 0th index. Dot game object dot I don't know, get component. Oh god. Mesh renderer dot material equals colors of 0. Is colors of 0 and 1? No, I want it to be 1. And then because 1 is the one we're selected, and we do the opposite. We set the other one to be black. And we have to do the opposite here. So we change these two numbers, and now we check it in on timer expired. So instead of on needy deactivation, we will have it be, I don't know. Well, actually, no, I do know. So, if let's see. Ooh, actually, I need to have it give me the expected answer. Actually, so is answer true? So in that case, oh wait, yeah. So I just need it to match. So if answer is true, so if answer is answer true equals selected answer, yeah, then we will not strike. So I guess we could have it so if it doesn't equal, then it'll strike. And again, we could fix the button or the text leaking over with the other ones in a little bit. So, is this module called not? We say it's yes, but we can also change it to no at any time. Yeah, and now we just have to wait for the timer to go out. Now, while that's happening, I do want to mention that I have a special script that basically lets you reset the wait time. So with normal I think the way it works, right? Because I'm not an expert on how like Needies work, like very deep. But Needies have a set reset time, and what it is like after the Needy deactivates, which by the way, that was right. After the Needy deactivates, it'll wait I think it's like 30 seconds that you didn't press last time, which was this. It waits like 30 seconds or something like that before it reactivates itself. And what this line here does is it basically lets you change how long it will wait before it reactivates itself. So I imported this from Needies Nuts, and it'll wait from 30 to 50 seconds, and we can always change that number. I'll probably change it to like 30 to 40 because it doesn't really matter. So as we can see, it ran out of time again. Red was the last one we pressed. If I were to ask you what was your last answer, what would you not respond with? So I'm gonna see if it strikes because green is the right answer. But while we're waiting for that, yeah. So yeah, that's all this line does. And if you don't care about using it, right? Which honestly, I'll just probably hash this out. Actually, I could just get rid of this altogether. That's really all I want to do in start. So because of that, I'm also gonna get rid of it. But I think that's all that I need to do for for Needies, because there's not really that much to go over. It's basically the same as just normal modules, and yeah, it did strike. With the exception of, do you want it to run out of time, or do you want it to just do whatever? Hey, while editing the tutorial, I realized that there is actually a third type of Needy that I just completely forgot about existing. This is why I should probably make a checklist before I actually make one of these things. And the third type of Needy is that upon each correct input, it increases the time of the timer. So, what we can do is, instead of having it be on Needy deactivation, for it being right, let's just go ahead and hash these out. What we will do is, it's needy dot change, I'll look at the method real quick. I know it exists, just give me a one. Right, okay, so it's needy dot set needy time remaining. And what we can do is, we can get the current time, not probably get needy time remaining, and then we can add like 20 seconds. To method. Oh, I should probably do that. So yeah, we do this, it'll add 20 seconds to the timer. Now, if we just let it be unrestricted, what will happen is that, oh, and also we should have it generate a new answer whenever we do the correct thing, right? So we need to do on Needy activation afterwards. So, what'll happen is that if we have it be unrestricted, it will just, let's see, yes. It will just keep adding, which is fine at first. If I was asking was. However, we do have the issue of, what if we just go above the time? That's the button that you didn't press last time. And so having it be 3 digits looks kind of weird, and I'm not sure how it looks in-game. Most just cap it out at 99, which is probably the best play. Because I know for at least Fidget Spinner, which that Needies is not that great to begin with, but ignoring that, what used to be a thing is that you just spammed the Fidget Spinner for like 5 minutes at the start of a bomb, and then you just didn't have to worry about it ever again. So you could have it do it if you want, but if you do want to restrict it, then all you have to do is just make a float, right? Float, just do, I don't know, end time rem equals this. And then you just check if it's above, you know, if it's above 99. So if end time rem is above 99f, then you just set it to be 99f. Or, yeah, you set it to be 99. And so we'll just do it for both the yes and no. So then we'll be able to see that, let's see, bomb have 5 ports? Maybe? No. What was your last answer? What was not your last answer? What was not your last answer? Oops. But yeah, on a strike, I'll reset it back to 0, or back to wherever you have it initially. What was the button that you didn't press? Yeah, so now we can see that's maxing out at 99. And that's the third type. I realized that, yeah, I was almost done editing the video, but then, oh, I realized I forgot. So, ooh, don't want to undo that far. Hi, this is an addendum, like, 2 minutes after the fact. I realized I didn't code in Twitch Plays. The Twitch Plays works basically the same way as like a normal module, except for the autosolver. Let's see. So, use yes/no to press that button. I forget that we need to actually do that. Command equals command.trim. Actually, it's just command. Oh wait, .to upper. That's the thing. .to upper. If command equals yes, then yes button dot on interact. And if command equals no, then no button dot on interact. Is there anything else I need to do with this? Yield break, I think. Yield break. Cool. So yeah, this is the same as normal. You can see I coded in 2 seconds. However, the autosolver is a bit different, and you'll see why. I'm gonna go to Needies nuts for this. That's the Twitch command. So instead of making this an IE numerator, we want to make this void. And like, it's perfectly fine having this be IE numerator, right? Like, this won't throw errors. But what it does is, or the way it works is that if you make it an IE numerator, then what it will do is that it will wait until all the modules are in queue, if they will just wait for the rest of them to autosolve before it gets its turn, right? So, by doing that, it might run out of time and strike, which we don't want. So instead of having it be an IE numerator, we want it to be void, and then we just have, like, and then we just have it start a coroutine, which handles the autosolver. So we can just basically copy and paste code here. Again, I'll have to update the Needy template, or I'll just have to update my template, so that way, that way you don't have to do this stupid idiot thing that I'm doing. So, if... how do I check? If, is answer true? Okay. If is answer true, what is it called? Yes button dot on interact, else no button dot on interact. Yeah, okay. And yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, as you can see, like, it's basically just the same as making an autosolver, except that you have to put in a middleman because of the way Twitch Plays works. Yeah, and probably maybe the next or the one after, what I will do is I will go back into this mod and I will go over mod settings, and then I'll also go over colorblind and rule seed, like I said. And we'll bring the return of Bland. Unfortunately, we'll have to bring Bland back because I'm not that good with JS, but he is, kinda. Anyways, so let's just hash these out. Let's see. That breaks these, which is fine, because I'm gonna hash these out anyways. Bring these back. And instead of doing that, we just do this. And again, because that was debug code, kinda, what we want to do, okay. What we want to do is just make sure that, sorry. Well, we want to make sure that works. So does the bomb have 4 battery holders? Probably not. Okay, it does. That didn't strike. Activate again. Was a button that you didn't what wasn't the button that you didn't press last time? Okay, that works. What was your last answer? What would you not respond with? This would strike, so let's do it. Okay, yep, cool. And okay, yeah. So now we're gonna test it in game, make sure it works, and you'll actually get to see what it'll be like in game. Oh yeah, also a thing I forgot to mention is this countdown time here. So all Needies have a default of 40 seconds, but you can just change that to be 50 or 60 or 30 or 20 or whatever the hell you want. It doesn't really matter. So, I just built it, but I didn't actually configure it. So ID is not. Title is not. Oh wait, title has spaces. Insert flavor text here. We'll just copy from this. Whatever. Insert solving description here. Author of me. Answer questions based on what was or wasn't your last answer. Insert potential credits here. None. Okay, cool. Now we want to build it. And then I'll test it in game. If it works, then all I really have to show is the SVG process with Inkscape. Okay, cool. So we have the thing. We'll probably change this text so that way. Oh, that's actually very important. We need to get rid of the status light. And I also need to get rid of the screen, because you can see it here that it's actually Z-finding. So, yeah, again, this is why we check in game. So we need to get rid of status light, we need to get rid of the screen. I'll strike, so that way it'll activate. Does bomb have 2 indicators? Yep. Ooh, and we need button noises for button press sound effects, whatever. But yeah, there's some things that we cannot view in the test harness that we have to see in game. So we need to get rid of this. We need to get rid of that. We need to add button press things to this. And now we get to draw it in Inkscape. So, Inkscape. And I'll basically do a kind of mini tutorial here. We can open that, whatever it's called. Navigate to where our SVG is. Not. HTML, image, that. So it works the same, it works pretty similarly to Inkscape, or to Illustrator. So you can just make a rectangle. Ooh, actually it's a Needies. So Needies do have a different SVG, kind of. So let's just go to, I don't know, vented gas. Yeah. So let's just download this. Let's put it there. And reopen it. You have to close the old one. Yeah. So this is basically all we want to see, right? Or when we start with. I don't have a specific SVG saved for when I make Needies because I don't make them that often. So we can just grab a random one, which is what I did. So we can just use this rectangle tool, center it with the mod. If you want to center things with whatever it's called, with Inkscape, there's a very simple. Hey, can I not grab this specific thing? I guess it's just part of it now. Whatever, we can just remake it. So, you can go to the Align tab, which is somewhere, I forgot. You can always Google things for Inkscape. And we can just center it to each other. This one should not have a fill. I guess if it does have a fill, it would be like black. And we can just make the button. Again, you don't have to go too extravagant with your SVG. Good enough. I don't really care. There we go. Cool, and now we have our SVG. It looks like ass, but you know what? Whatever. And you know what? I didn't show in the last tutorial, but I will do it here. I will just show you how to minimize an SVG. You can just type in SVG OMG, go to this link here, and basically just open up the... Why do I have zip bombs? What? And just open up whatever SVG you have, and you should minimize all your SVGs. Like, it takes like 2 seconds, and the maintainers will probably yell at you if you don't. But, here. Now you just have the SVG, you just hit download, and then you replace the one you already have. And it takes like 2 seconds. And you should do it with with all SVGs you have, not just the one in the top right. So, I did it in like Fusebox, for instance. Like, all of these are minimized, or minified. So, yeah, cool. Do I need to go over anything else? I covered that. I guess there is the one thing of making the JSON, where make sure that when you do make the JSON, you do type in needy module instead of regular. Yeah, it's just normal. Name, not, description. I wrote a solving description here somewhere. To add tags, you can just... you should add excuse me. You should add tags because you'll not waste other people's time. Or rather, you're saving time from other people who care about it. I personally don't. However, other people do. So, just say, like, screen. Green button. Red button. Question. Not. Doesn't matter, right? Module ID is not. Sort key is... Oh no, sorry, sort key is not. Module ID is not. Steam ID, to be determined. Author, me. Source code. I have it somewhere. Com. Not. I didn't publish it yet because... Oh, it was in that tab. I didn't publish it yet because I'm not done with the tutorial. Agree to the Modkit license, although you don't have to have it be open source if you don't want. We're putting No Nut November as the symbol. Compatibility. It is compatible, we just tested it. And published on the 8th of 2023. Did I hit a special button? Okay, no I didn't. Diffuser difficulty, let's say it's medium. Expert difficulty, trivial. Trivial is now a new thing. Basically treat trivial as like none. It's dumb, I know. Rule seed not supported. Boss status, not a boss. Ignore these. Mystery module compatibility. I guess we have to don't use this at all. No contributors, and souvenir, definitely no. Okay, cool. And we made the JSON. Make sure we rebuild it before publishing it to the Steam Workshop. Oh, actually, we should bundle the manual. So put it in the folder named Needy Modules. And if you don't have it, because my template doesn't include it automatically, just put Needy Modules. In fact, I should probably just have it be there automatically. And I didn't save it. Cool. Or I did save it, but didn't have it go there. And get rid of this. Cool. Now we have to rebuild it again. Make sure we Steam Workshop this. Don't have to be named template. Not. And if you do have a named template before publishing and you don't realize it, just make sure, like, you can always change it later. So definitely change it before you make it public. Upload. Yeah, make it public. Cool. So now, all we have to do is lint, which I should probably get rid of this first. Edit, blank operations, tab to space, save that, and now we can send it. Or compress the zip. Lint. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I doubt it. They'll give us a thumbs up if it's fine. Okay, this is... Alright. This is fine. This is not an actual issue. Okay, yeah. And that's all we have to do for, to make an Needy mod. I'll definitely have to edit this video down. It's like, what is this? An hour 30. This is like probably a 45-minute tutorial at best. So... Ignore logbox_wise. It has a case of the stupid, idiot, dumbass. Also new mod. Alright, well, thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully this tutorial was watchable. In the next tutorial, I'll be going over either bosses or mod settings / colorblind / whatever. Thank you for watching. Again, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and see ya.